Hello, my dear listeners. Before we dive into today's heartwarming tale, I want to send out a big virtual hug to 3 wonderful listeners who've been leaving the sweetest comments. Shout out to Nancy Palomo from Paris, France, Joan Groke from the
Ladies
Emerald
and
Hills of
gentlemen,
Ireland, and
may I
Kath
have
from
your
historic
attention,
Gettysburg,
please?
Pennsylvania, right here in the USA. You ladies make sharing these stories so special. And hey, where are you tuning in from today? Drop it in the comments below. I absolutely love hearing from all corners of the world. Who knows, your name might just get a mention in our next episode. Alright, grab your favorite cozy drink, settle in, and let's get into this beautiful romance. In the heart of Manhattan, where skyscrapers pierced the clouds and the streets hummed with endless ambition, there was a discreet little office tucked away on the 3rd floor of a nondescript brownstone. No flashy sign, no gleaming lobby, just a simple door labeled Suite 312. Inside, Helena Adams ran her unique business, Compatibility Connections. It wasn't your typical dating app or matchmaking service. No, Helena specialized in something far more intricate, crafting genuine-seeming sparks for clients who needed a nudge toward love. Or at least, the illusion of it. One crisp autumn afternoon, an elegantly dressed woman named Evelyn Kingsley stepped through that door. She carried the weight of old money in her posture, pearls, tailored coat, the kind of subtle luxury that whispered rather than shouted. But her eyes? They screamed worry. She slid a photograph across Helena's desk. "This is my son, Julian," Evelyn said, her voice trembling just a touch. Helena picked up the photo. Julian Kingsley was strikingly handsome, tousled dark hair, piercing brown eyes that held a quiet intensity, broad shoulders filling out a sharp suit. He stood alone at a gala, surrounded by crowds yet somehow isolated, like he was observing life from behind glass. "He's 35, Evelyn continued. Runs a thriving tech startup he built from scratch. Brilliant, generous, donates millions anonymously to children's hospitals and education programs. But he's alone. Works 80-hour weeks, hasn't dated seriously in years. Ever since." She trailed off, dabbing her eyes. "I just want him to remember how to live again. To open up, even a little." Helena leaned back, professional as always. This request skirted ethical lines. Evelyn wasn't asking for a match, she was hiring Helena to become the match. To engineer chance encounters, build attraction, make Julian fall. It was deception wrapped in good intentions. But Helena understood loneliness all too well. Raised in foster care, shuffled from home to home, she'd learned to adapt, to perform whatever role kept her safe. Love? It had always felt like a script. And money was money. "I'll do it," she said finally. Over the next weeks, Helena immersed herself in Julian's world. She mapped his routines: 6 a.m. runs in Central Park, black coffee from the same corner cafe on Madison at 7:15 sharp, late nights at the office in Midtown. She studied his interviews, how he valued authenticity, intellect, quiet strength. His passions: Dostoevsky novels, Camus philosophy, abstract expressionist art, small-batch wines from Tuscany vineyards. Classical concerts he hadn't attended since his fiancée's death a decade ago. The plan was meticulous. Make it feel like fate. On a chilly Monday morning, Helena positioned herself at the cafe. Casual outfit: jeans, soft sweater, hair in a loose ponytail. No heavy makeup. She sipped black coffee and buried her nose in a dog-eared copy of the Brothers Karamazov. Julian walked in right on schedule. She didn't glance up, but she felt his eyes linger on the book. He grabbed his coffee and left. Seed planted, the next days followed suit: Crime and Punishment, then The Stranger by Camus. On the 3rd morning, he paused. "Interesting morning read," he said, voice deep and warm. Helena looked up, feigning. A faint smile tugged at his lips, the first crack in his armor. "Never thought of it that way." They chatted briefly. Handshake. Names exchanged. A spark. You're interesting, Helena. You say that like it's a surprise. It is. He left with a hesitant "see you around?" And she knew the hook was set. What followed was a masterclass in subtle orchestration. Helena appeared by chance at his favorite Soho gallery, lingering before a Rothko until he approached. They discussed the chaos beneath the calm, the loneliness in pretending. Coffee turned into lingering conversations. Then dinner dates. Julian opened up slowly. Over pasta in a cozy West Village spot, he shared his vision for his company, AI-driven telemedicine to bring healthcare to underserved rural areas across America. It's not about the billions, he admitted. It's about making a difference. Helena watched him animate, eyes lighting up. This wasn't the cold workaholic she'd expected. He was kind, tipping generously, remembering baristas' names. Deeply wounded from losing Sarah in that tragic accident, blaming himself for years. And as they spent more time together, lazy Saturdays in independent bookstores, evenings at hidden jazz clubs in Harlem, runs along the Hudson where he'd slow his pace to match hers, Helena felt her own walls crumbling. She'd engineered perfection, mirroring his interests, wearing the subtle amber scent he loved, challenging him intellectually while making him feel truly seen. But it stopped being an act. One night, after a rooftop dinner overlooking the city lights, Julian confessed over wine. 10 years ago, I lost the love of my life. Car crash. I was driving. Survivor's guilt, it shut me down. Tears welled as he spoke. Helena held him, sharing her own scars from foster care, the abandonment, the never feeling chosen. You've been chosen now, he whispered. By me. Their first kiss was electric, tender, real. Foreheads pressed together, he said, with you, I don't feel alone. Alone anymore. You see the real me, not the CEO, not the money. Guilt twisted in Helena's gut like a knife. Because he was wrong. Every chance meeting, every shared interest, it was manufactured. Paid for by his own mother. She was worse than the gold diggers he'd avoided. At least they were upfront. Yet she couldn't stop. Months passed in a whirlwind of bliss. Julian introduced her to his world fully, Thanksgiving with Evelyn, who winked knowingly, thrilled at the progress, holiday lights in Diker Heights, New Year's Eve fireworks from his penthouse balcony. He fell hard, surprising her with first edition books, planning trips to Italian vineyards. I love you, Helena, he said one snowy evening in Central Park, pulling her close. You've healed something I thought was broken forever. I love you too, she whispered. And God, she meant it. This fake romance had become the most real thing in her life. But secrets have a way of surfacing. It happened on a quiet Sunday. Julian, browsing her apartment bookshelves, spotted an old folder peeking from a drawer. Curiosity 1. He opened it. Research notes. Photos of his routines, profiles. Payment records from Evelyn. His face drained of color as he read. Helena? His voice broke when she walked in. What is this? The truth spilled out in sobs. The job. The deception. How it started as a performance but turned real for her. Julian listened, stone-faced. Pain etched deeper than she'd ever seen. You were paid to make me fall in love with you? I'm so sorry. It stopped being fake. I fell too, harder than I ever thought possible. He backed away, eyes shattered. I trusted you.